face, cop.
Are you a sports fan who loves to have a good laugh?
Oh, yeah.
Then you're in the right place.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
Life moves pretty fast.
Patriots win the
Welcome
Super Bowl.
to the Man Cave Chronicles.
Brady has his fifth.
Welcome to another episode of the Man Cave Chronicles podcast, a podcast of talk culture where everyone has a story. I'm your host, Elias. You can find me on Twitter at the MCC Podcast. Today, my guest, you've seen her on Cobra Kai. She plays Moon, Hannah Kepple. Hannah, welcome to the cave.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are things with you?
Really well. I'm almost done with school, and I'm ready for summer.
Yeah. Do you have any summer plans?
I have a few trips. I'm going to go to the beach, and then I think I'm going to head out to LA the end of July, so I'm very excited.
Yeah. So, everybody knows you from Cobra Kai, and congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you.
And, it must have been a blast for you with, over 15 million views on it.
Yeah, it was so much fun, and the feedback has been incredible. We're so glad people love it.
Yeah. So let's start a little bit about you for your little background. Where are you originally from?
I'm from North Carolina.
Yeah. How was it growing up there?
I loved it. It's a beautiful place. I live in the mountains. I get to experience all the seasons, and it was really wonderful. I live kind of in a smaller town, so I know a lot of people, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, what made you pursue acting?
So I started out doing musical theater when I was around 10 years old, and I just kind of pursued that for a while. It really shaped me into the person I am. It really helped me get out of my shell a little bit. I was a very shy child sometimes, and so it really helped me. And then the beginning of high school, I became very interested in film, and I joined a local agency, and then I started auditioning and taking some acting classes, and it just kind of evolved from there.
Yeah. Are you still in Carolina?
Yes, I'm still in North Carolina.
All right. So do you go out to LA a lot to to look out for movies and stuff like that?
I've actually never been to LA. This summer will be my first time heading out there. I do all of my auditions here in North Carolina, and then I'll travel to various places for callbacks.
Yeah. So was this your first big gig, Cobra Kai?
Yes, this was my first time on a film set.
Yeah. And tell us about the audition for that.
So it was just like any other audition coming in. I learned my scenes, and then we submitted them after I filmed them. And then I heard back a few weeks later that I'd gotten a call back, and so I traveled to Georgia, and that's where I had my call back, and I performed some scenes in front of producers and writers and various people involved with the show. And then a couple days later, I heard that I booked it.
Nice. So,
yeah.
Did you watch the original Karate Kid at all after you booked the role?
So I had seen it before. I grew up with it.
Okay.
My parents were very big fans. And then afterwards, I don't think I actually watched the Karate Kid again until after we were finished filming.
Yeah. So
for not any particular reason, but yeah.
Yeah. I grew up watching it. It's like one of my favorite movies, and I've already had Sholo on, and I had Joe on. Those guys have been great, and
yeah, they're incredible.
The writers and the producers, they did a great job with this thing.
Oh, I'm so glad. It's so great to hear that from original fans of the movies.
Yeah. So you star as Moon. Tell us about your character.
So Moon is one of the, I guess you could say, popular girls who goes to high school. She's very good friends with Yasmin as well as Sam starting out in the series. And then Yasmin and Moon kind of have a falling out with Sam. And so their kind of friendship is kind of up in the air throughout the series a little bit. But Moon is this very fun-loving girl. She hangs out with Yasmin, I think, because she's very dependent on other people. She wants to fit in, but I think she genuinely cares about people. She's just sometimes a little oblivious. But she definitely has a very interesting character development throughout the series that people have really enjoyed, and I'm so glad to see what what they've been saying about her and kind of what they want to see from her later.
So how did you like prepare for the role?
Well, so I knew kind of some characteristics and things that the writers wanted. But to kind of prepare for her, I just read the scripts. I took kind of some actions and things that she did in the scenes to kind of help guide me. I created some backstories, and I really just kind of looked at the relationship between Moon and some of the characters in the show, and just kind of to build this character.
Yeah. Do you like what's the biggest challenge for this role?
Probably Moon is a lot more oblivious than I am, and she has some comedic elements that I had to make sure and kind of capture. But she was a lot of fun to be. I really enjoy Moon.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite scene that your character was in, and which one was it?
Oh my goodness, they were all so fun. I really enjoyed the car scene between Moon and Yasmin, and then Sam later enters. That was a lot of fun, and that was kind of my biggest scene. And we just had a really good time kind of goofing around, and you really get to see more of Moon's kind of personality.
Yeah. Do you other than that, do you have like another favorite scene that that you don't have to be in the scene, but do you have a favorite scene on the show?
Okay, let's see. I mean, I guess I would have to say the tournament, because it's just such a monumentous moment. And it's just a lot of fun to watch, kind of the build up and how these characters just interact with each other. I really like the tournament scene, I think.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite person on that show, like a favorite character other than obviously you?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of swaying towards Team Lawrence because he's so funny in the series. And you just really get to see a different side of him, of John. So he's been a lot of fun to watch, his character.
Yeah. Do you where do you see your character in season 2?
Well, she obviously has developed something with Hawk, so we'll see how that plays out. But I'm very curious to see if she kind of continues with Aisha and Dimitri and that sort of friend group, or if she reverts back to her safe space with Yasmin, if Yasmin will take her back. It'll be so interesting to see if she kind of goes the way of Cobra Kai, or if she goes back to the popular group. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah. Do you think your character might join the dojo and learn the Cobra Kai style?
I mean, personally, I would love to train and I would love to learn karate. So I would be all for that, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah. So what kind of feedback you been getting from people that watch the show or on the streets? Do people run into you and stuff like that?
So for the most part, I've gotten a lot of messages online. I've got a bunch of people at school who've come up to me and asked me if, hey, are you on that show? But I've gotten so much positive feedback. It's been incredible. And it's so nice to know that people just really enjoyed the show and they want to know what happens to my character and if there's going to be more.
Yeah.
So it's been very supportive.
Yeah. Do you see this show going more than 3 seasons?
I mean, I would hope so, to be able to really see where these characters go. But I mean, every show has its allotted amount of time that it needs. So we'll just have to see where it goes.
Yeah. Now, how is it working with the original cast members, like, Ralph Macchio and Zabka?
Oh my goodness, it was very intimidating at first. But they were so kind. I first worked with William Billy Zabka, and he is just so incredibly kind and warm and very open. And then I met Ralph a bit later and worked with him at the pool scene. That was the scene that I kind of worked with him, and he was very sweet and kind. They're both just very genuine people.
Yeah. Have they given you any tips or advice?
We didn't really get into anything like that, but I'm sure they would have some very great words of wisdom.
Yeah. So you're pretty new to the acting world. Then, if you could work with one person on TV or a movie, who would it be?
I don't really have a specific person in mind. I mean, frankly, I'd love to work with anyone that's kind and loves what they're doing. And yeah, I don't think I have a specific person.
Do you have like a certain person that you look up to in the acting world?
I don't think I don't have a specific person in mind, but
Yeah.
I really admire actors who aren't afraid to be themselves and to share parts of themselves, to really show that they're genuine and they love what they're doing. Just kind of following the lines of people who aren't afraid to be themselves.
Yeah. So how do you try to improve like your acting skills every day? I mean, obviously, I know you're going to school right now and everything, and you're gonna have the summers off. But like, so how do you like try to improve yourself?
Yeah, I still take some classes with my agency, different acting classes, and as well as I try to read scripts and watch films, and I mean it's a continuous process to really grow as an actor, I think. So yeah. I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah. So do you have like a dream role that you want to play someday?
Like, I'd love to play a character from a book. Okay. Because I love to read, and I think it would be so much fun to be able to read a book and be able to kind of take what the book says and then also like create a character and bring it to life for film.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite book?
I have so many favorite books.
Which one have you read the most, like over and over?
Oh, this is going to be silly, but I love Peter Pan. It was a classic kind of story growing up that I read with my family, and it has like sentimental value. So that's definitely a story that I read multiple times.
There's nothing wrong with that. I have a little girl, so she loves reading books. So every night I'm reading books to her.
Yeah, see, there you go.
So let's learn a little bit more about you. Like, so what are you into? Like, let's start off with what are some of your favorite TV shows right now that you like watching or movies?
So I watch more films than I do TV shows. But I really like kind of some throwback TV shows like The Wonder Years. I like Veronica Mars. I'm trying to think. I mean, I really like to just kind of surf Netflix a little bit, see what's on there.
Yeah.
And then films, I'm a huge psychological thriller fan. Those are my favorite genre of movies. And I love Seven, Shutter Island, Taxi Driver. So movies like that, I really like to watch a lot.
Yeah. So you like Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro, huh?
Yes, it's a classic.
What is your favorite scene in there?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. I think that scene where he's in the crowd at that, I think it's like a campaign sort of event where there's a bunch of people and you think he's going to do something and you're kind of on the edge of your seat, but then he ends up not really. It's so, oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's creeping right through the crowd. I remember that scene.
Yeah, the way he interacts and you just see his face. It's, oh my goodness.
So what else are you into? Like, what's a one fun fact about you that you want the fans to know about you?
Well, I love to be outside. I love hiking and traveling. That's definitely something that you'll see me doing. We have some beautiful trails out here where I'm from. And so I love to be outside and I love to travel for sure.
Yeah. Is there a certain place that you want to visit that you haven't been? Other than LA, of course.
No, I would absolutely die to go to Greece. I've always wanted to go to Greece. The islands are so beautiful.
I used to live in Greece. I'm from Greece.
Really?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and I've been to I'm not from an island. I'm from Sparta and Kalamata. And a few years, about 10 years ago, I went to visit some family, and my cousin took me to one of the islands, and it was so beautiful.
Oh my God.
You should put that on your list.
For sure. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stunning.
Have you been ever outside of the U.S.?
I haven't, but so next year I'll be graduating high school, and I think we're going to plan a family trip where I think we're going to go to Europe, or maybe I'm trying to pull my parents' leg into letting me go to Greece.
There you go.
But we'll see.
You should do it.
I know. I would love to.
Yeah. Are you into sports or anything else, or?
I used to be a big swimmer. I did a team when I was younger, and then I run. My family, we're all runners. I'm kind of my siblings and my parents are more runners than I am, but I like to run on occasion. I used to be on a track team. And I used to do a lot of sports when I was younger, but I kind of had to make the decision whether I wanted to do music and acting or sports because, it's very consuming.
Yeah.
So I kind of went with the acting route.
Yeah. Do you do you have any other future projects that you can talk about?
I don't have any that I think I can talk about, but I
Okay.
have some exciting opportunities coming up. So definitely be on the lookout.
All right. And lastly, how can the listeners find you on social media?
So I have a Twitter and an Instagram, and it's just Hannah Kepple, and I definitely post on there a lot. I like to share different aspects of my life with people.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to tell the listeners before we end this?
I just like people to know that I'm so incredibly thankful for all the support. Cobra Kai has made a big impact on my life, and I'm so glad that people love it. And they should definitely stay tuned for season 2.
All right. I want to thank you personally for coming on the show. This was fun, and I hope you come back on when season 2 starts.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to the Man Cave Chronicles. Follow them on Twitter @the MCC Podcast. We'll catch you next time.